Good evening, everybody. No, that's not gonna do. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so comedians, there are children at the back there. Hello, kiddies. Right. Okay, so Safan, can you not stand in front of the camera? So, for the Ramones of the world, if you're on when the children are here, you're gonna have to redact all your naughty jokes. Yeah? Think of it as training. It's like, think of it as you're running a marathon with weights on to get stronger. Think of it that way. Yeah? Alright, it's been a while. It's been a whole month. Much has happened since then. Did anyone watch the Francis Ngannou fight? Anyone into boxing? Yeah. Yeah? Seen him get knocked out? Yeah. That was very upsetting for me. I mean, I didn't think he was going to win, but to get knocked out like that. Whew. How many of you have done boxing or kickboxing or anything like that? Yeah? So you know that feeling of maybe a few seconds into the round and you realize you're in over your heads? You know that feeling? Yeah. But obviously, you're mad, so you can't say, you kind of have to get on with it. That's what Francis Ngannou looked like after the first knockdown. When he got knocked out the first time, I could just see it, yeah, bro. I feel your pain. You don't want to be here. Yeah? But hey, I don't feel sorry for him. He got paid 20 million, so I'll get knocked out for 20 million on TV. Yeah. I like when he said 100%. Yeah, I'll get knocked out. No problem. I have to say, I feel like my whole childhood has been tainted. I mean, first Bill Cosby, now Nickelodeon. Yeah? Anyone who else grew up on Nickelodeon? Yeah? I can't even break down, because there's kiddies in the room, I can't even break down why it's so traumatic. I'm just saying. And back then I used to envy all those kids, because obviously I was a kid and there were kids on TV. So I used to envy, I wish I could be just like those guys. Clearly God didn't answer my prayers for a reason. So, yeah. I mean, to be fair, there's some characters that are on the news that I'm like, it's not really news. Like Diddy, I can kind of see you there. When Cosby came out, that was a big shock. How many people used to watch the Cosby Show growing up? Yeah, that was a big shock. That was like, yeah, again, kiddies in the room. Does anyone feel like, I don't know if I want to say this, but anyway, let's just say that I've been watching the news, and I just feel like if I was Russia, Korea, China, I'll be looking at America thinking, yeah, I can take them. That's all I'm going to be saying. That's all, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, it's time to get to the comedians. Rowan, you're going to have to use all your PG-13 articles. Everyone give it up for Rowan! Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this. By the way, we're going to be strict with time. So this is how it's going to work. At 4 minutes, 30 seconds, Harry's going to point a lighter at you. Yeah? When it gets to 5 minutes, he's going to point at me, and I'm going to scream, time! Ryan, when I say time, you come off the stage, yeah? All right, give it up for Rowan. Let's go.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
My name's Rowan. I read the paper. There will be no naughty words here, but I have got a rather fitting article. It's by Anna Davis. It says, just how much does your child's phone affect them? You may want to know. Forget horror. Jonathan Hates breaks us down in a way that will make you feel crazy. There is a new epidemic of mental illness as he uses scary phrases like phone-based childhood and experience blockers. Only in a generation are we going to find out what is truly in store. Now, I think this is true. I think that social media is mashing up all our brains. Before I carry on, at Real Row Raps. But I always worry when I hear this type of stuff about what is going to hurt the younger generation, because it might get misused by people. Like there might be little Johnny is running around Saturday morning, knocks over his dad's beer. Instead of his dad getting out a belt, he's just going to get out his phone and say, look at Instagram. Scroll down, look at kid just getting all weird. I just think that these things, they could get misused for other ways. So I want to prevent any abuse that might be taking place. So what my plan to do is, if I see any parents walking down the street with a phone, I'm going to run up, snatch your phone, and I'm going to run away as fast as what I can. And just for good measure, just to stop them from buying another phone, I might take their purse too. Okay, I might also snatch it. It's because I'm a good citizen. That's the only reason why I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help these people. But they say this is like, he says that it's dumbing down the children with something called an experience blocker. And it just makes me wish, like, I wish I could have been a part of this generation. Like, do you know how hard it is being this intelligent? You know how hard it is being this smart. I was so smart in school. Some people were like A's. I got all the way to F. Sometimes G. Alright? I was so good they even said they want me to keep me in school. That's how good I was. We're going to keep this guy here. I had to deal with the smarts of knowing the girl I liked only went with little Kakleko over here because he could make her laugh. Like, kind of an idiot wants to even make people laugh or be funny. I don't know. I'll never figure that one out. But they do go through some other stuff that, cyberbullying. And then I was thinking, maybe not. There's a lot of these kids get atomized. Even just the term phone-based childhood, that's quite scary. That's dark. That's morbid. And there's a lot of stuff that they will never get to experience, like what it's like to bully a kid in real life. Like that, for me, I worked out a lot of my own traumas and stuff. It was great back in the day. But now they say that we are overprotecting kids in real life and underprotecting them online. In real life, we've got a safe space in case you get offended online. There's all sorts of bad stuff that you know what's busy happening there. And basically, yeah, I won't get too much into that little part there. But yeah, so I don't know what to do with these kids. That's a problem. I don't know what to do anymore. Back in the day, if you let your kid play outside, they'd go missing, they'd get put on a milk carton. We never did that in South Africa. We didn't have milk. So that was the one problem. And then now, even if it's not to do with technology, if you let your kid go play outside anywhere in the world, basically they'll get hurt. And all I'm trying to say is maybe it's not everything else that's a problem. Maybe it is those kids. That's all I'm saying. So what I'm going to do for my children, if I want to protect them from everything happening on the phone, is instead of letting them use the phone, I'm going to get my kids to make the phones. This is a 3D kind of chess I'm playing. Think about it. Yeah, in the West, the kids are on the phones. Going down China, kids making the phones, they're fine. They're doing okay. So basically, child labor, that's my answer to world peace. Take care, have a good night. Thank you very much.
Rowan, were you under 5 minutes because you cut out all the naughty bits? You know what that means? Ramon, you're not going to have a set. Okay. Let's have some estrogen on the stage.
Yeah.
Everyone give it up for Lisa!
Thank you. Yes, my name's Liz Ann and I'm a highly successful career woman. Yay! So successful I've got my own company vehicle and everything. Hey! 18-ton RCV. You know what that is, sir? Everyone else looks confused, so let me clarify. I drive a dust cart for the council and I block out the road. Not that I did much of that last year. Last year, my arm went wrong. and I had 6 months off work. 5 years ago, I fell off the back of the cage truck, backwards, onto a moving car, broke his wing mirror. 3 weeks later, back at work. 6 months after that, again delivering bags for the council. They got these Victorian houses in my manor. The steps going up to the front door look like they've melted. I call them the Salvador Dali steps. Yes, I'm very articulate, I'll have you know. I have a licence to prove it. So anyway, I went down the steps a lot quicker than I went up them. Hit the wall at the bottom with me ribs, broke the wall. Turn up at my local A&E department, they're now all convinced I'm made of rubber. 3 weeks later, back at work. This time last year, wake up one morning, oh, what's gone wrong with my arm? 6 months off, work that out. And yeah, my fella was having a bad time of it as well. He was going in and out of hospital for tests. And he's going, oh, I hope it's something really serious. I hope it's something really serious. So serious that I don't have to drive another train ever again. No, don't say that. Don't even think that. He drives a train, I drive a truck, we made a level crossings. You're an integral part of my set. Now I've got to write my own material. What's that all about? So yeah, professional driving power couple. It's great. Funnily enough, he never had the ambition to be a train driver when he was a little boy. He weren't a typical little boy, can't think of it. I weren't a typical little girl, because I wanted to be a lorry driver since I was that high. And I'd see the 40-footers barrelling down Barnet High Street, think that's a bit of me, that's what I want, biggest thing on the road. So now I drive a dust cart. Well, it's about work-life balance, isn't it? If I was using the full capability of my HGV licence, I'd be stuck on a motorway somewhere. I wouldn't be able to do this. What a shocking loss to the world of comedy that would be. I'm sure you'll agree. Yeah, he didn't want to be a train driver. He wanted to be an archaeologist or a jet fighter pilot or something. In fact, he so disliked trains that he once fed a train to a shark. True story. When he was about 6 years old, going across the sea to Australia, 10-pound bombs away. He he was five, let's get it right. It's 5 when he went to Australia, 15 when he came back. Anyway, someone gave him a little train set to play with on the ship so he didn't get bored. So he rode the track all the way to the end of the ship and put the train on it and let nature take its course. And he was watching the sharks over the side and were getting all excited looking up at him thinking, little boy, num 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 num. What the hell's that? Don't think much of the hors d'oeuvre. And then all the adults come running out, oh, the little boy lost his train. Oh, no, the poor little boy, I bet he's so distressed. He said, yes, but I did it deliberately. So yeah, I bet you never mentioned that in your job interview for a train line that runs from London to the coast. Just saying. We've had Wales up the Thames and things like that. They'd be, oh, I wonder what he's going to do with one of our trains. Yeah, we got together quite late in life, and I had to warn him. I said, look, you know, middle-aged women, we've got a bit of a reputation, got a bit of a reputation. One of my loaders, he's proudly declared that he won't touch a woman who's over the age of 40. That's why he goes around with a packet of Dreamies in his pocket, because it's the only he's going to get. Right, so I said to my fella, yeah, you've got to be a bit careful, all these middle-aged women. And I said, when they get together and talk about sex, it's always quite shocking. And I said, generally it goes along the lines of, thank God we don't have to do that anymore. And he said, oh, we men, we're just the same. We're just the same once we reach a certain age. We'd rather have a nice cup of tea. We might do it once or twice just to impress her, but we'd really rather have the nice cup of tea. And if there's biscuits on offer as well, she's got no chance. It's always going very well, till he became diabetic. And as for estrogen on the stage, too late for that. Just saying, don't let the youthful good looks fool you. Alcohol's a good preservative. Anyway, I've got to get up early in the morning, stupid o'clock in the morning, or else my dust cart turns into a pumpkin. So I'm going to get off now. Thank God I hear you cry. I've been Lisanne, you've been an audience. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Be lucky. Good night.
Yeah.
Train drivers make a lot of money, don't they? They get paid a lot. But isn't it like mostly automated now? They don't actually drive it, they just sit there.
You're thinking of the Docklands Light Railway.
Ah.
Yes, they don't have train drivers, they have train captains.
So you learn something new every day. Okay, now we're gonna have the person with the coolest name here today. Everyone give it up for Khan! Why are you getting up, bro? Why are you
What's with all this Michael Jackson stuff recently? Everywhere I go, I see this guy being brought back by the public eye. He's dead already. Good. Let him rot. I used to like Michael Jackson. I grew up listening to his music just like everybody else. And I even watched his movies. Films like Men in Black. And the other It's a good movie. What's the other movie? Oh yeah, the other one, where he's guiding all the children to the big Michael Jackson robot.
PG-13?
Was it? I even wore a glove on my hand the very next day after his death, just to pay respect to him. I feel like such an ox. Later in life, I look back on Michael and I realized all the crazy things that he did. Things like sitting at award ceremonies with other people's children on his lap, dangling his baby blanket from a balcony, naming blanket, sleeping with young boys in his bed, let me repeat that, sleeping with other people's children in his bed, paedophile cases that were settled out of court for millions and millions of dollars. The parent suicide of those victims. The nose job. The skin color pigmentation adjustments. The hair straightening. His monkey. His monkey's name. If you're a West Ham fan, you know what I'm talking about. Fulham Football Club, and the weird reason why there was a statue of him outside of their stadium, and of course his close relationship with Uri Geller. Not to forget the relationship he had with Elvis Presley's daughter, where she did not even allow him around his own children. Then I finally watched the movie Finding Neverland, and it finally made sense to me. The icing on the cake, the cherry on top. He never had a childhood, so he always wanted to be Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. Some blame the victims and say they knew what they were doing. Really, children. There's a scientific reason for why we think they didn't know. Same with Michael, with his father, and it is embedded with the law, and it is called pedophilia. And Michael Jackson was the king of pop, pedophilia. His father used to scare him at night with a mask just to toughen him up. Yeah. I'm Michael Jackson. I'm gonna be famous. You're damn right you're gonna be famous, pedophile Jack. gonna make you a star, son. Shimon, now, stop it. Shimon, I'm gonna make you a star, boy. He did that whilst wearing a mask on his face. It sounds like something out of the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Maybe Epstein was in on it too. They did know each other, after all. And the password is bubbles. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Pretty bubbles in the air. More proof Michael Jackson was a pedophile in his song titles. Smooth Criminal. Billie Jean is not my lover, that's because you lie, little boys. Beat it! Why are you telling me to masturbate? And my personal favourite, Love Never Felt So Good. And the key song, Have You Seen My Childhood? I don't know what man Michael's looking at in the mirror, but I'm going to end it right there and blame it on the boogie. The boogeyman being his father. Thank you.
So I take it you're a fan of Michael Jackson. Yeah. Okay. I want to comment on that, but instead I'm going to welcome Owen.
All right. Hello, comedians, couple of real people, kids. How are we doing? If I swear at any stage, it's just because I'm speaking Irish, okay? Right. Yes, I'm from Ireland, okay? And I feel a lot more Irish since I moved over, right? This isn't actually a beard. I'm trying to grow a balaclava. Halfway there. Like I don't think I feel like I'm not full-blown IRA, right? I'm more kind of like Diet Ra, right? IRA 0, Ra Light. Yeah. But it isn't really hard to feel patriotic about being from Ireland when you're surrounded by English people, to be completely honest, because you messed us up for a while, 800 years. Okay, I think we got the point after the first couple, right? 800. And the worst among all of them was a fella called Oliver Cromwell. Okay, around 400 years ago. He was essentially like our Darth Vader, to put it lightly. Does anybody here know who Oliver Cromwell is? You do! Genuinely. Well, you're Scottish though, right? You're okay, alright, fair enough. But you know, he was such a prick, I'm sorry, I'm speaking Irish. He was such a tough character that not even ye liked him. He was absolutely hated by the aristocracy here in England. But hello, welcome, how are you doing?
Hi.
Do you know who Oliver Cromwell is? Yes. Yeah. How do all these English people know who Oliver? Are you English?
No.
Is it a yes or a no?
We're not the same person.
Okay, right. You're Scottish. I'll move on. Okay, I'm getting stuck up in minutia. But like, okay, you're fair. Like you got like, you know, you got your Oliver Cromwells, but you know you got your heroes as well. We've got heroes. One fella, Michael Collins is his name. He's one of the heroes of the Irish War of Independence. Okay, my surname is Collins, and my grandfather was born in the same village where he came from. So I always had an idea that I might be related to him. A couple of years ago, my granddad was passing away, and I went in to visit him. And about halfway through the visit, he turns to me and he goes, "Owen, I think it's about time I actually tell you where you come from, or who you come from." And I said, "Well, stop right there, G Daddy, I think I know who it is. It's Michael Collins, isn't it?" And he said, "No, absolutely not. Turns out I'm descended from Oliver Cromwell's foot soldiers. One of them, yeah. A stormtrooper, right?" So basically, yeah, I'm an Irish person and I have English blood, which is very, very confusing, like, right? It's very confusing. These two things contrast completely. Like, I don't know whether I should just start like growing potatoes and throw them out immediately afterwards, right? I want to stay up all night drinking and having the crack by going to bed at a reasonable time. I want to leave Europe while keeping all the benefits of it at the same time. Thanks very much. I was just letting myself sit in the bomb, really, just like the IRA. But it's like, I don't know, I'm conflicted because it seems to be, being English kind of seems like it's a bit confusing, right? You know, your Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, he's the son of immigrants who also wants to get rid of every single one of them out of the country. You're not as progressive as you think you might be. It's not like Ireland, right? Or last Prime Minister, okay? He was the first openly gay Prime Minister in the country, which is pretty good, right? You know, and it only took him up until 2015 to get with same-sex marriage. He opposed it up until then, that's not a lie. One thing I would, I don't get is like, why, like, we don't have a monarchy back home in Ireland. Like, I don't understand. Why, like, at the very least, can we get rid of Andrew? Can we get rid of Prince Andrew? Yeah? Yeah? He doesn't seem like the sharpest tool in the shed, right? Do you remember his BBC interview?
Yeah.
Are you all tensing up because the kids, I'm not going to speak any Irish, okay? Do you reckon before he did that interview that his lawyers turned to him and was like, right, Andrew, listen, okay? We can get you out of this. Just say exactly what we tell you to say. No sweat. And he was like, gotcha, cuz. All right, that's all I got. Thank you very much. We'll welcome Joseph back up to the stage.
Yes, Owen. I don't know why you were shy about Prince Andrew. Khan did 5 minutes of Michael Jackson. You might as well, you know. All right, Peter, where you at? Everyone give Peter a big round of applause.
What's up, guys? How you doing? So another Irish person immediately after the last one, like, group us together, ring fence us in. You know, that'll work well, right? It worked well in the past, didn't it? So my name's Peter. How you doing? Is all right? Are you? You all right?
Yeah.
How's that stuff with the phone going?
Yeah,
It's a
right.
big job, right? Heavy work. You didn't know you were gonna have a fucking night of heavy lifting ahead of you. I feel sorry for you. So I'm gonna talk about dog keyboards. Has anyone seen these things on Instagram? Yeah, they're like symbols on the ground, where like Midwestern American mums set them out. And the dogs like interact with them. And the dog steps on the keyboard and it says a word, right? So there's like loads of these buttons. And I'm gonna call BS on it. Like, there's just no way. There's no way the dogs know what each one of these symbols mean. There's like, it's just not possible. How many years of training would it take to teach it what each button meant? Like, it's gonna take forever. If it said something like hungry, I'd be like, okay, these dogs get it. These dogs get it. I can understand that. But it's saying things like squirrels, always taunting. I'm like, bullshit. I'm not. That's not gonna work. Like, if that was being done, the content made in actually training the dogs would be viral in itself. That would be incredible stuff. Did you hear about NASA trying to do this with dolphins? No, this like conspiracy. They like covered it up that they were doing this for like 15 years. I'm trying to think of a way to say this that doesn't involve me saying one of the words. They ended up giving the dolphins LSD and masturbating the dolphins for 10 years in secret on an island in St. Thomas, and the woman who was doing it had no qualifications at all. And it became like information that they used to apparently speak to aliens. That was the whole reason for it. And the reason why the woman got the job, she just walked up to the building in St. Thomas, and there was a guy having a cigarette outside. And they just said, she just asked him, well, what are you doing in here? And he went, I'm just gonna show you. And then she fell in love with a dolphin called Peter, and ended up wanking the dolphin off and giving it LSD for 10 years. Like, that's a true story. Like, so if it didn't work for dolphins, because they didn't interact with it, how long is it going to take, and how much of that is it going to take for dogs to use this keyboard. So I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Pavlov had one bell, and it took him 3 years. So I don't believe that it's going to be happening for these Midwestern American mums. Well, that landed like a lead balloon, didn't it? Absolutely amazing in this room, like fire.
You're educating us. That's what we're.
Yeah, like learning stories here. You've come for a day of education here at Blend. If you're at least not gonna drop your pants and laugh, you know. So I'm from quite rural Ireland. I'll go back to some Irish stuff maybe. Jeez. You didn't like the Dolphins? I'll write that down. No more Dolphins. So I'm from quite rural Ireland. In the north, though, I'm from quite rural Ireland in the north.
Where?
Are you from the north, are you?
Oh, I lived there for a long time.
I'm from County Down, just outside Templepatrick. Do you know it? Oh yeah, well, it's a lovely part of the world. Where were you living?
Fermanagh.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. No, it's lovely as well, it's lovely. So I did all the normal Irish pastimes. Like I started sniffing petrol at about 9 years old. That was great. Like, it's great. Has anyone ever, had a toke on that dragon? Anyone tried that? It's very cheap. Oh, it works. Yeah, there's one. It's very rare. You find someone every now and then that knows it, It's very hallucinogenic. Very, very hallucinogenic. So I don't have enough time. I won't go into a story about what happened in it. A few of those have got, many of those go fuck it. Another one of the games that I would love to play when I was in Ireland, or one of the things I would love to do would be the famous Irish game of throwing sticks at cars. It's a great game. It's amazing. It's pretty simple. What you do is you get a stick and you throw it at a car, right? A lot of fun. I would stand up near the churchyard, there'd be about 10 of us, and as the car came by, we'd just launch a stick at it and see if we could get a chase. And the idea was to get the chase from someone and get down to the churchyard and then just disappear in the graveyard somewhere. There's my light. Disappear in the graveyard somewhere. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. And I'm going to try and do some stuff. I've got a couple of wee jokes there about being Catholic, Protestant, blah, blah, blah. Once I threw a stick and I hit an army van, right? And I got a chase and my mum and dad did get involved, and they were quite angry at me. But actually, because my grandfather was Catholic, it's the proudest moment of his life. Yeah, there you go. That's how we joke about being a Catholic and a Protestant at the same time. I would go to school where I was a Protestant and I was Catholic at home. And what would happen is I would act like a Catholic, but every now and then my inner Protestant would come out and I would steal people's lunches. And that's it. My name's been Peter. That's it. Have a great evening. Thank you very much, guys.
Pete, everybody. So both the Irish and the Scottish say we, isn't it?
Yeah, we won.
Like we won, yeah? Yeah. Because anytime I try to do either of that, and that's my go-to, I'll be like, it's a wee bit nippy here now. Is that what's that, Irish or Scottish? Neither, okay. Heath, can you do Harry's job while he comes up on stage? Everyone give it up for Harry!
You alright, guys? So, I just shout out Joseph, man, for running this night. So, he wanted, instead of me doing the lights, he wanted at 5 minutes to just shout time. You can tell he's like a jiu-jitsu guy, can't you? Instead of like oos, it's like time! So I was in a kebab shop the other day, and I see this massive sign. It said, "We don't take credit." I never knew you could take credit in a kebab shop. Like, a lot of my friends are on like ticks to like drug dealers and stuff. I'd be on the tick to the kebab shop, man. Oh mate, please, just give me $2 and chips, please. I'll pay you back tomorrow, please. So I've got, this set's all over the place. So, it always is, but I've just got to say that. Have we got any, anyone who's trained first aid in the room, anything? So is it for work or?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I've got beef with first aid. Because first aid, right, it's a very much team sport, innit? And I'm actually trained first aid, and I've realised I almost die a lot, and I can't do first aid on myself. And I think it's a con. Like, they should teach you how to do like the Heimlich manoeuvre on yourself. Hey, that was the bit I forgot yesterday. You know,
I wasn't listening.
yeah, you still
I'm told now.
yeah, yeah, that That's one stuff. Oh yeah, I almost threw up yesterday. And alright, so I sent my mum a text and I ended it with X, and I think I wanted to vomit in my mouth. Not because I don't love her, I don't send people kisses.
Yeah.
It's like childish, isn't it? Like, have we got anyone who sends their like partners a lot of kisses and stuff?
Yeah,
How many do you send them, Jimmy?
depends how much in trouble.
Oh, is it you who? Sorry.
We're married, we have to.
Yeah, how many like on a...
2, 3.
Are you a child? That used to be the move when you were younger though. You'd be messaging someone on like Facebook or whatever, and if you fancy them, you just drop an X in, and they'd be like, oh, and then you put one back. I guess they're not. So I'm a massive football fan, and I always have been. It's weird, right? Because I'm not like a normal football fan, I'm like a non-league football fan. I support my local club, Welly United. And it's weird because like it used to be like a cool thing because I used to go to games and stuff. Now I'm an armchair fan for a non-league football team. So instead of me going to the games, the only way I just sit on my sofa and just see, oh, we beat blah blah blah. That's good. I can't even watch the highlights. And like recently we sacked our manager. And I hated this guy so much because he used to do this really annoying thing. It used to be like, oh, up the wings. After every interview, you say up the wings. And we'd lose like 6-0. And it'd always be up the wings. This is the first time I've not sworn in this set. And I think I've done. Cheers, I've been having.
You see the challenge, eh? You have to learn how to do comedy without diving into the gutter. Ramon, are you still gonna perform tonight? Just checking. Just checking. All right. Someone that's gonna have no problems with these restrictions. Levi!
Man, how's everyone doing today? Good? Yeah? Can we get a round of applause for everybody here for making it to such a wonderful venue? Yeah, you could be doing anything. You could be at home watching porn, masturbating, but you're here tonight watching comedy. Joseph. I know why you're mad that Francis lost the fight against AJ. Because you're his cousin.
No, I'm Nigerian, he's Cameroon.
Oh, he's from Cameroon? Nah, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't care. You're still his cousin. Now, I could imagine you watching a fight, right? You watching a fight on TV, right? And AJ knocks Francis out, right? And you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe you, Francis. You're making us look weak. You're making us look weak.
Do you know Anthony Joshua is Nigerian? So if anything.
Oh.
I was thinking that.
You know what? I'm gonna skip that joke. Damn, Jones. I'm trying to freestyle. You know what? Yeah, shout out to the kids in the back. Hey, kids. Yeah, made it to the comedy night. Don't know if you're gonna come back. Maybe you just be like, Mommy, I want to stay home next time. But yeah, shout out to you guys. This is like censorship. This is like this is like playing rap music on the radio. Like, she take my money. I ain't messing with no broke, the broke, you know, that version. Hate that version. You know what? I'm 28 years old, right? And I come from a Caribbean background. So my grandparents are Caribbean, but my mum and dad are born in England. So, you know, everything gets passed down, right? And a lot of the time, right, because I feel like with cultures, you know, it differs between cultures, right? But there's a lot of like pressure, like social pressure, family pressure that gets passed down to the next generations, right? And the thing about Caribbean culture, right, is there any Caribbeans here?
Yeah, man.
Yeah? Yeah. Wagwan, yeah. So, Caribbean culture, right? Caribbean culture is 5 words that trigger me, right? And it triggers a lot of Caribbeans, but it triggers me in particular because it's the pressure from the words from when I was young, you know? And the 5 words is a big man like you, right? And I'll give you an example, right? How a big man like you can trigger somebody, right? Like me, right? And even me just saying the words, it just gives me this feeling in my stomach. Like I even want to just shed a tear right now. A big man like you, right? A big man like you doesn't know how to operate the washing machine. A big man like you keeps burning the toast. A big man like you still lives at home with your parents. A big man like you doesn't have a girlfriend yet. A big man like you can't even organize a party without giving people proper notice. A big man like you. Now here's the thing, right? I'm 4 years old. Right? I'm 4 years old hearing these words, right? And here's the messed up part, right? I say the same thing to my brother, and he's 18. So everything just gets passed to the next generation, right? A big man like you. Please do not say those words to your kids. It's triggering. It's also triggering, right? And here's another thing, right? You may not notice this, or you not notice, but you may not know this. Eastern screech owls, right? Now, yeah, Eastern screech owls, right? What they do is they take blind snakes, right? And they take blind snakes from their habitat, right? And they take them to their nestlings. Now there's a purpose to actually doing this. What they're actually doing, they're actually cleaning the eggs. So they're actually helping with reproduction, right? Now here's the thing, right? I've got some questions for these Eastern screech owls. How do I know I can trust this owl? I'm a blind snake. How do I know I can trust this owl is actually going to treat me proper? That's the first question. The second question is, how the hell do I know what I am eating? If he's taking me to a nestling, right, is that? All right, yeah, so how do I know? How do I know what I'm eating? Now the third question is, once I actually do my job, because actually the purpose is actually to clean parasites and actually eat the parasites and to keep the nestling clean, right? So how do I know once I do my job that the baby chicks, the baby owls aren't gonna eat me? Like, how do I know that, right? As a blind snake. And it's a thing where I feel like there needs to be more trust established, right? Now let me skip to the next thing, right? Because this is all new material, so I'm just trying to stop. Oh, please, one more. I need one more? I gotta finish with one more. Okay, so just imagine this. Is there any R&B fans here? Yeah?
Only fans.
R&B. Similar, yeah, R&B. So imagine a bunch of old school R&B singers, right? And they're in this place, right? And they have a big brawl, they have a big fight, right? So just imagine there's a bunch of R&B songs, they have a big fight. So, you know, for example, you've got R. Kelly, right? And he's in the fight. So he's saying, my mind telling me no, but my body's telling me kill him, right? So that's R. Kelly, right? You got Usher, right? Usher's in the fight, right? And he's just like, yeah, 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 yeah. And you got Usher, right? He's in the fight. And then you got Genuine. Genuine's in the fight, but he can't fight. So he's just taking like punches to the stomach, and he's just like, yeah, 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 yeah. So he can't fight, right? And then you got Justin Timberlake, right? He's in the middle of the fight, and he's just like, I'm gonna rock your body. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. And then you got Nelly, right? Nelly's in the fight, and he's like, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your chains. I am getting so mad, you better chill the out. Censorship. And then you got LL Cool J, right? And he's just like, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it well. I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it well. And then you got P. Diddy in the middle, and he just starts twerking, right? P. Diddy starts twerking, and he throws everybody off. And he wins the fight. He wins. I forgot to say one strong detail about this, right? The venue of this fight is actually an after party at P. Diddy's mansion. That's why he wins the fight. And it's been... yeah, so P. Diddy won by default. Let's just say that. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Levi. Yeah, let me just not say nothing. Let me not say nothing. All right, Heath. Come and do something, Heath. Everyone give it up for Heath.
Anybody want to hear some half-thought, baked ideas I quickly scribbled down on paper on the way here and yesterday? Yeah, it's going to be a long 5 minutes for all of us. You're okay with your kids doing racism? Is that okay? Is that okay? I can get rid of transphobia. You fine with that? Everyone's fine with that. It's not real. Right. Some of the things I've wrote down here are not for children's ears. They're not for anyone's ears, really. Right, learning to cook. I'm learning to cook. Did you know how long food takes to make? Did you have any idea that vegetables come in like this raw form and you've got to do stuff to them to make them edible? Why don't they tell you that before you start cooking? Do you not think? Have you ever had a microwave meal? Have you had one? Yeah, and then they tell you you can cook it at home. Yo, it's a lie. It takes 4 hours. It takes 4 hours. This isn't well thought out, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep talking. I didn't like your stuff either. It takes 4 hours. 4 hours! You know meat, when you get it, you have to chop it up and cook it. And then you add it to the other stuff, and then you have to cook that. There's nothing there. I'm gonna keep it. Coffee. I don't know why I wrote that. I had a funny thought about coffee yesterday. I'm sure it was hilarious. Yeah, my baby started using emotional manipulation at 12 weeks old. Can you believe that? She's mastered it already. She's watching her mum, bitch. She's watching her mum. She's seen how to pull me triggers. I'll walk out the room and she'll start crying and screaming, so I'll come back in and like, oh, everything's wrong, and then she'll just smile and go, ah! I'm like, oh, everything's fine. I don't see what's wrong, so you walk out the room again, and she does it again, and she starts screaming, going, ah! And you're like, why are you doing this? You're okay, you've been fed, you've got your toys, you know, you seem quite happy. You start to realise that this is when women start to learn how to be dickheads from a very, very young age. Like, nothing she does is reasonable at all. I pick her up, she doesn't want to be picked up, she throws up on me. So I clear up the sick, and then she starts going, this is going nowhere either. I'm wasting my time here, and yours. Wanting my daughter, I don't even know what I've wrote here. Well, that's a good one. Do you not think open night mics are getting worse? Do you not think the standard's gone downhill and too many people are doing comedy? God, I hate doing this. So, I'm going to do 9 minutes like Levi though. He got some laughs, so I'm gonna torture you with my non-comedy for 9 minutes. And apart from Levi, I'm bigger than all of you, so what up? Role playing. That was something about role playing with my wife, but that wasn't fun. There's children in the room. It was really funny. I would have done that bit. Have they gone? Oh well, the moment's passed. I've no idea what I meant. I knew it was about my wife and I wrote role play. How long is this, Harry?
3, 4, 1, 1.
Jesus Christ, really? That's 3 minutes. How are we all? I can't even be bothered pretending I'm into this anymore. How is everyone? How do you write jokes? I decided to, for anyone who's not seen me before, I'm really good, like way better than the rest, like really good. I'm not even playing, I'm a genius, right? So I thought, I'm joking. So I thought I can tell it's a joke because none of you laugh. So I did that thing of coming back after the baby was born and saying I'm throwing out all my material and starting again. I shouldn't have done that, should I? You know that old stuff that makes people laugh? I'm going to bring that back. Fucking hate this so much. It's the worst. I'm going to talk about nonsense for 5 minutes. Wanting my daughter to be a boss bitch. That's actually got legs in it. That. I'm going to write something about that. We're quite traditional, and we have quite a traditional relationship. I don't hate my wife or anything like that. I just mean like my wife's very happy with being very sort of feminine, and I'm happy with being. We're quite like that. And it's like we wanted our daughter to be raised quite traditional, and now she's been born. I just want her to be like the fucking CEO of Google and be a total bitch. There's something in that, isn't there? I'm going to work on that and come back. Not here. I keep going like that, like I'm going to turn to page 2. There's nothing on that. I've had this notepad for a year. Was that a lie? Yeah. Thank God for that. Was that 5 minutes? Yeah. So just 4 minutes left. I'll make an effort next time, guys. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter.